Hi, I'm Wes Myers, working in Logic Pro. The team process, developed by team founder and CEO Gary Gray, includes the Mute Automation Checkerboard A/B workflow system and routing, which I'm going to demonstrate. Everything I'm demonstrating was learned as part of the team process. First, I'll go over reference tracks. Reference tracks are commercially released recordings that align musically and sonically to your mix. They're tracks that have become internationally popular, and they give you the chills, the good kind. Now, although some reference tracks may not meet all of that criteria, the objective is to find reference tracks that allow you to effectively compare what you are mixing to an industry standard recording. We use 3 or more reference tracks in order to compare various elements of our mix to the reference tracks, such as snare to snare, vocal production to vocal production, bass to bass, and so on. Now, be sure to buy your reference tracks from a high-quality distributor like iTunes. Ripping audio from YouTube or other sources like that is not only illegal, but it often yields low-quality reference tracks, and you don't want to work with those. Once you've found your reference tracks, you want to create a reference compilation track. This is a single audio track where you can place clips from full reference tracks in order to create an apples-to-apples comparison with your mix. A clip from one track can be used for the intro, another for the verse, another for a chorus, and so on. Along with piecing together your reference compilation track, you'll need to set up A/B mute automation on that reference compilation track, as well as a mirrored image of that mute A/B automation on a track that your mix will go through. Setting this automation at exactly 5-second intervals allows you to hear 5 seconds of the reference track, and then 5 seconds of your track, followed by 5 seconds of the reference track and 5 seconds of your track, all the way throughout your whole mix. It's important to set this automation at 5-second intervals, rather than using downbeats on your mix. If you use downbeats, your brain will know what's coming, and it will not give your ear a fair comparison between the two. Use the gain tool on each clip of your reference compilation track in order to volume match it by ear to the corresponding section of your mix. Do this by ear, and not by using meters in your DAW, as the ear's perception of loudness does not match the visual representations put forth in the meters. On each of your reference tracks, place an EQ that brings the lows and the highs down by 6 dB. The purpose of this is to get a clearer picture of what the mix sounded like prior to the mastering process. Since you're working on the mix, you want it to sound like the mix, not the master. Route each element of your mix to one of these 2 channels, 1 stereo bus out with glue or 2 stereo bus out with no glue. The 1 stereo bus out with glue gets routed straight into the 2 stereo bus out with no glue, which then goes straight to your stereo out. Glue is an effect achieved through compression and or limiting that glues certain elements of the mix together. Having the option to route elements of the mix to either the glue or the no glue allows for artistic experimentation and offers more control over your mix. When you're ready to utilize the Checkerboard A/B system, simply route your 2 stereo bus out final into the track you've set up with mute automation for your mix. Now your mix is in the machine and you're ready to start referencing. Set up your stereo out with 3 different EQs so that you can single out the low frequencies or the mid frequencies or the high frequencies. This allows you to focus on one particular part of the frequency bandwidth at a time with the Mute Automation Checkerboard A/B machine. From here, we can export 5 different files to critique the mix in outside systems, like your computer speakers or your car stereo or your phone earbuds. Export 1 file of your checkerboard system using the full frequency bandwidth, another with just the lows, another with just the mids, and another with just the highs, and then export 1 more file of just your mix without any reference track included. Listening to these in outside systems will reveal things to your ears that you just won't hear in your studio.